Greetings YouTube. The Age of Reason was an 18th-century movement which followed hard after the mysticism, religion, and superstition of the Middle Ages. The Age of Reason represented a genesis in the way man viewed himself, the pursuit of knowledge, and the universe. In this time period, man's previously held concepts of conduct and thought could now be challenged verbally and in written form. Fears of being labeled a heretic or being burned at the stake were done away with. This was the beginning of an open society where individuals were free to pursue individual happiness and liberty. Politically and socially, the imperial concepts of the medieval world were abandoned. The Age of Reason included the shorter time period described as the Age of Enlightenment. During this time great changes occurred in scientific thought and exploration. New ideas filled the horizon and man was eager to explore these ideas freely. German philosopher Immanuel Kant defined enlightenment this way: enlightenment is the liberation of man from a self-caused state of minority. Minority is the incapacity of using one's understanding without the direction of another. This state of minority is self-caused when its source lies not in a lack of understanding but in a lack of determination to use it without the assistance of another. The Age of Reason need not necessarily be viewed as a high point in the history of man. Man began to embrace an exaggerated belief in the perfection of humanity based on reason and clear thinking. They happily abandoned reliance on biblical truth and lost their fear of gods and goddess. Leaving the medieval extremes of mysticism and superstition, they swung to the other extremes of reason and rationality, overlooking the subtle shades of grey in between. The Age of Reason brought about a great change in the tale of man's sojourn on earth. Reason, rationality and enlightenment became the new gods. For the previous 1700 years the perfection of man was only to be obtained through grace after death. The Protestant revolt to the Catholic Church and subsequent holy wars had done nothing to change the accepted underlying beliefs of society. Revelation was the source of ultimate truth and could only be received as a communication from God. This was the basis of Christianity. Now, in this new age, man felt obligated to follow his own intellect, not reveal truth. Earth and emphasis on nature became the new dogma. Miracles, prophecy, and religious rites were mere superstitions. Reason, philosophically, is defined as the ability to form and operate upon concepts in abstraction, narrowing information to its bare content, without emotion. Rationality carries the dual implication of ordered inference and comprehension along with understanding and explanation. Enlightenment is more or less the application of reason and rationality to previously held beliefs, resulting in broader, clearer thinking. The Age of Reason saw the introduction of the scientific revolution and various progressions of new schools of thought. Dualism advocated by Descartes taught that the God, mind, and man, nature, were distinct. Baruch Spinoza introduced the idea of pantheism, namely, God and the universe are one, and further that gods and goddess was a substance consisting of infinite attributes. Believers in deism, described as the religion of reason, rejected Christianity as a body of revelation, mysterious and incomprehensible. God revelation, believed deists, was simple, logical and clear-cut, a natural religion which always existed,